Hey, what's going on, guys? It seems like we're going backwards in America. And check out this clip with Sean Hannity, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
California Governor Gavin Newsom's crew of keyboard warriors from posting, quote, Kristi Noem is going to have a bad day today. You're welcome, America, on X on Saturday. It's inexplicable why people are so tone deaf. Every indication is the left has no intention of toning down this radical rhetoric. That post was immediately referred to the Secret Service for a threat assessment. And by the way, Kristi Noem has already been put in government housing because of threats. What some have perceived as a veiled threat was apparently some sort of sick, promotion for this bill that they signed out in California that pretends to ban law enforcement from wearing masks. What, so we can dox them and identify them so that bad people can find them?
Do you see how crazy that sounds? We have a governor in the United States, Governor Gavin Newsom of California, going against federal agents in the United States to protect who? People who came in the country illegally. Why are we going against one another? Why would Gavin Newsom want to pass something like that to unmask them, to cause harm to them and their families? Over what? Over someone coming over here illegally. You want to protect them. We're doing so much to protect illegals, but yet the American people are put on the back burner. Perfect example, Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago, and also the governor of Illinois. They've been in so many press conferences. Brandon's yelled out, we don't want ICE in our city bringing their crime here. The crime is already in Chicago. The crime happens every day, mainly every weekend. There's someone shot in Chicago. There's multiple people shot in Chicago every weekend. And you have never seen Brandon or the governor in this many press conferences to address the shootings. You never seen Brandon sign executive orders the way he signed to protect illegals going against ICE. You never seen him do this much when it came to the shootings. But for illegals, he's going above and beyond. He's going all the way for them. And I hope you Chicagoans see this video and understand when it's time to vote to get that guy out of office, because he does not have your best interest at heart. There's been shootings in you guys' neighborhoods forever. Even when you had Lori Lightfoot, nothing was done. Brandon's going to bat for illegals, leaves you high and dry, does nothing for you. And a lot of black people, once again, you guys are fighting a battle that has nothing to do with you. They will let you join that battle because they're using you to build numbers to go against the federal government, ICE, who's trying to remove them. Don't be fooled, as I said in my last video, by white liberals. They don't live in your community. They're fighting ICE to allow the people to stay. But when the people stay, they stay in your community. They go in your schools, your stores, your recreation centers. White liberals do the commotion here and they go home over here. Don't be used by these folks. They don't mean you any good. We're all just infighting. I've never seen it where Americans are fighting Americans to protect people who came here illegally, when we all know if you went to their country, you would not allow it to be able to stay, and they would not, I repeat, they would not fight their government, their law enforcement, to protect you when you broke the law by entering their country illegally. Why don't we wake up over here and do the same thing? Fall back. Allow the federal agents to do their job. Black people, stay out of it. Stop getting in this. Stop being used by white liberals. All these signs, we don't want ICE. Yeah, but you're not experiencing the issues that others are experiencing with illegals taking their resources. So don't be used. This is a crazy time that we're in right now to see everything that's going on. Throwing rocks at federal agents. The United States was never, ever like this. And things have just gotten totally out of control. When Joe Biden was in office, there was no law and order. Now there's law and order. You don't have to like Donald Trump, But we have to have law and order. We can't allow people to run rampant and do what they want to do and think things like that are okay. Throwing rocks at federal agents, robbing, doing whatever. We can't allow that in this country. We just can't allow that. But let's get back to the video.
Let me give you some facts first. You know, no state government has the authority over federal agents. We do have something called the Supremacy Clause. Border enforcement is under the jurisdiction of the federal government, not state governments. And this California bill wouldn't even take effect until January anyway. So it's all meaningless symbolism for a cheap headline. Now, as the Department of Homeland Security itself posted, this is all some big, pointless and random PR stunt coming at a time when threats against ICE agents have exploded by some 1,000%. As I said, Secretary Noem herself has already had to move into military housing at one point for her own safety and the safety of her family. It's got to stop. You know, these are serious, these are dangerous times. You know what? And people do get triggered, and people, you know, at times get indoctrinated. And when you dehumanize Nazi, fascist, racist, Hitler, Stalin, Mussolini, over time, you know, people that may not be all there begin to take it to heart and may think they're doing God's will. Here with more, Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem. Well, let's get your reaction to bad day for you.
Well, it was cryptic, and it was really menacing. I would say, Sean, it immediately panicked my family and friends. Within, I would say, a couple of minutes of that being posted, I started to get text messages and phone calls, family, my kids saying, "Are you okay, Mom? You know, are you fine?" They know the threats that I've had. They know the threats that they've had, the things that have happened to them because of politicians like this that say things and somebody grabs onto them that has an agenda, the cartels and criminals that have threatened our family already. So when you get a post like that by a governor, immediately, you know, my staff and family think, what is going on? What does he mean? And we're trying to figure it out. So, you know, this is a day and age where we've always known that words matter, but there's been real consequences that we have realized that have happened to incredible people like Charlie that we'll have to live with forever. And I hope we all learn from that. I hope we all learn that it's time to start listening to each other, having civil discourse, and stop ridiculous, irresponsible posts like Governor Newsom put out there.
Yeah, that was childish of him to put something out there like that. Very childish. Also, people come over here illegally. They don't assimilate. They protest. When can you go to another country and protest, you know, and you're in their country? They come over here and protest. That doesn't even make any sense. You couldn't do that over there in their country. This place is totally out of control, and we do need law and order. And that's pretty much what's happening right now. Law and order is being handed out, and some people don't like it. And, you know, one last thing, was it Ilhan Omar? You know, she talks about the president, talks about the United States. You know, why doesn't she just go back home? She doesn't like it here, or she talks about it, just go home. You know why she won't go home? Because she knows she cannot say the things that she says here over there. She knows that. That's why she's here talking that. But anybody that comes from somewhere else and they're protesting the United States, holding their country's flag up, it's interesting. You're in this country, holding up your country's flag, protesting, just go back home. That's all you have to do is go home. And that's easy to do. No one has to look for them, just go home. But Joe Biden has allowed that, and now the new regime is trying to clean things up. And, you know, if they're not looking for you, stay out the way. Don't let white liberals use you. You get arrested. And then what? Then your family has to bail you out. You think someone illegal is going to step up and fight for you if you get arrested? Not going to happen. And one thing to be careful about, people, is don't end up losing America. And when I say that, I mean this. All this fighting for illegals, letting them come over. No, don't bother them. You know, we're going to get through this. A few black people say, we're going to get through this together, all that stuff. The more they come over, they build those numbers, and they start getting their people into office. And then they start making rules and decisions that will affect you. If you're at the bottom of the barrel now, imagine where you're going to be if they get their people in office and start making the rules for themselves, what they like based on how they feel, how their country is. You don't want that, people. You don't want that. If you came over here the correct way, yes, you should be able to stay. We're only talking about people who came here illegally. They did not come through the point of entry. That's what I'm talking about. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.